Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. And together we are working to connect women in leadership and business, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, connecting to the heart and soul of who we are and what we do. And today is Mindset Monday.
Hey, Mindset Monday.
Woo, woo.
We love bringing Mindset Monday to you guys. It's a great way to start off your week and start off your day and just hit the floor running in a positive way. And I can't wait to tell you what we've got going on today.
So we have been reading these books and we love them.
So the one I've been reading, and I have been video recording my reading and posting them on our YouTube channel, so you can check it out. It's The Path of the Yoga Sutras by Nikolai Bachman.
And so much great information.
So good.
And then we are also reading The 52 Small Changes for the Mind by Brett Bloomington. No,
Blumenthal.
I'm like, nope, I did it wrong again. Reading it upside down, it did not convert.
So this week's sutra topic is we are into the niyamas, which are the personal self-care practices. And the first one is Santosha, which is contentment and gratitude. Yeah, and remember, these are personal self-care practices.
So contentment and gratitude, how does it apply to yourself?
Contentment makes poor men rich. Discontentment makes rich men poor. Benjamin Franklin. Bum, bum, bum. True inner happiness rests upon feeling content with who we are right now. Are we content? Are we happy with who we are right now?
That's a deep subject, right?
It is, right? Santosha, which is the second of the 5 niyamas, is being grateful for what we have and content with who we are and where we are in life. And we all go through seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and being okay, no matter what season you are in with your mindset, I think is really, really important. And we go through these seasons because that's how we learn and grow.
If we were always comfortable, we would always stay the same. And it really is the things that make us uncomfortable that help us grow.
Absolutely. What satisfies one person in gratitude does not necessarily satisfy another. It's not fair to project our own means of enjoyment onto other people. It's summertime, y'all. Let's go have some fun. What if all your friends are going to the beach, but you don't like going to the beach because the sand gets everywhere? You hate that, right? What do you do about that? Do you not go to the beach, or do you find alternate means to still have a good time without the sand getting everywhere?
Do you use the really cool bed sheet trick?
What's the bed sheet trick?
You take a fitted sheet and you put something heavy in each corner of it. And so then you kick your shoes off on the outside, and on the inside, then it's curved up. So it kind of helps keep the sand away.
Yeah. And they have these newfangled like beach blankets that are permeable, so the sand falls through them.
Oh, I have a couple of those, Matt. They're like mats and they're super comfortable to lay on too. Like, also, just put them on even on the concrete.
Did you know that you should always take baby powder with you to the beach? If you get sand stuck on your hands, feet, whatever, kids get covered in sand, right? Sprinkle some baby powder on there. It'll come right off.
I had no idea. How did I survive?
Pretty rad. It's pretty rad.
Back to the pool, back to the water, back to the pool. Okay, we're going to the edge now, and we're going to get those feet cleaned off again.
Yeah, so that's one of those tricks that I learned. Cool. And I was like, how did I not know this before? So if you take your kids to the beach and you don't like sand, there's a good way to get rid of the sand.
Baby powder.
Baby powder.
Huh. Now I can't wait to try it.
Right?
Oh, that's great. Okay, so what's next?
The opposite of Santosha is discontentment or dissatisfaction, which is a form of suffering. If you are not content, if you are not satisfied, you are making yourself suffer.
And when you suffer, you're basically in hell.
Yeah.
Right here.
You put yourself in hell. And we talk about that during 4 Agreements Week a little bit.
Wow.
It's, creating your own
coming up
heaven
in
and hell
July.
and
Yeah, you'll want to check that out. Wow,
for sure.
Okay.
So noticing this feeling is the first step toward converting it. So is it your mindset that needs to change? Can you do something differently?
So I always get really cold when I go to the beach, so I need to take a sweater, or I need to take a windbreaker, and then I'll be more comfortable. Like, what is the thing that makes me uncomfortable?
Right. Why are you uncomfortable?
Yeah, the awareness of the uncomfortable, the why. These things help you make the changes, and so you can connect to why you're doing these things.
Also, how we look in front of others can be another source of dissatisfaction.
Oh,
are we in our own heads?
Are we judging ourselves about how we look?
About it?
Oh.
So think about that for a minute. That's all in the, are you happy with where your life is going? Or, do you have that gratitude, that satisfaction? And if not, why? Where does that come from? So often we judge our progress, whether physical, intellectual, emotional, or spiritual, based on comparison with others. Again, judging.
Stop it.
Based on somebody else's
connection or their choices. Or what we perceive them. Because it's in our heads.
It's in our heads. So think for a minute about what success looks like to you. When you think of success, what do you think of? Just imagery.
Like money, like like sticky pit money, like there's money flowing around you. So like, is it that you have flashy cars? Is it, what does it look like to you?
Does it look like a business suit and a briefcase? What does success look like to you? Right? Does it look like having the time to travel and hang out at the beach with your kids for weeks on end, or whatever that looks like? What does success look like for you? Because I bet you it's not the same as anybody else.
Yeah, because we all have the thing of how it looks or feels to us, right?
Sometimes our progress performing the physical postures called asanas is falsely judged by our level of flexibility. We're talking about the postures in yoga, but I think it also plays into daily life, because
flexibility in life.
We're judging ourselves on our flexibility in life because it doesn't seem to match somebody else who appears to be more of an athlete at life, or whatever that looks like. One aspect of contentment is being unattached to the results of our actions. Okay. Are we attached to the result of whatever it is we are doing? What is the result? Are we going to be happy with that? If we cultivate gratitude, even when we are content, we strengthen that attitude in our heart mind, like amending its soil and making that gratitude easier to access when needed.
I love it.
We are planting the seeds of gratitude so that we can reap the rewards later.
So always practicing, always cultivating
that gratitude.
And one way to do that is with our mindset topic today, which is get out of town.
Perfect.
I love it. Shut the front door. What? All right. Get out of town. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all of one's lifetime. Mark Twain.
Anybody else ever go to a third world country?
I haven't. I've been to different parts of the US and seen many different parts, and I would feel like there's been some parts that are not great, as well off as other parts.
And we know there's even different areas of our own towns, our own cities, that some are well off and some aren't. the extremes when you go overseas, between the rich and poor are feel bigger. Like they feel bigger. I've been in different cities all over the world in my travels with the Navy and in my travels with school and other things I've done. And I've been to Africa, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong. And there's so many similarities in how people are treated based on their monetary status.
Wow.
So many similarities because, if you have money, you are treated like royalty because you can afford things, and maybe these people down here will get a little piece of that if they're really nice to you and they treat you really well. Right?
It
So it's a lot
commands
of
the
that
respect. Interesting.
However, no matter where your status is, you are still just as valuable.
Yeah.
Just as valued as any other person.
Yes.
Your value does not change. We are all made of stardust.
Yes. 100%.
100%.
Okay. So time spent away from your everyday routine provides great opportunities to relax, recharge, and rejuvenate. 93% of Americans report that they feel happier after vacation, and 77% say their health improves. That's pretty crazy that you feel better and rejuvenated after you take the rest. We never would talk about that. What are you talking about?
Why would that be? You feel better after getting some rest?
I know, and rejuvenating. Our lives can be very busy and hectic. And if we are in a chronic state of go, where our adrenaline is always going. I mean, so all of these things are going, and all these things don't feel good sometimes when they're going, like all of those released hormones in our body when we're all stressed out all the time. So some ways to get some more travel in your life, make it a priority. I mean, be aware that you want to do this thing, right? Make weekends count.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a big go away thing. It could be just stepping away from your regular routine, having a movie night, just setting things up so you can do it peacefully, relaxed state of mind.
You don't have to use every single weekend to catch up on all the stuff that you didn't get done during the week.
And you don't have to finish every project around the house every weekend.
Right.
Because like weekend warrioring and then going right into another stressful week, you've not taken any rest.
Right. I tend to do that to myself a lot, to be honest. And I need to not. And I'm trying really hard to figure out how to do that and what that looks like. Because I've been so in the habit of, well, I have time for this right now, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what needs to happen. And instead of being like, I need to rest. I need that space.
Right.
Because the task list is never ending.
It's never going to end.
It's never going to
end. It really isn't ever going to end. Remember low budget options too. So utilizing passes from your library, going camping or backpacking, taking a train or a bus somewhere, or there's, different ways to get to places. You don't have to just, we're not just talking about like spending 2 weeks in Hawaii.
You can even take a vacation at home, right? Just again,
you got to plan it. So
maybe you turn off the internet for a week or 3 days or whatever that looks like for you.
What?
It could be really hard, but it could be also really good.
What comes to mind is those memes where it's like the scary house in the woods. Would you go live here in the woods with no internet for a year for $1 million or what, think of that. Some different ways to do things would be like to immerse yourself into a culture. Go to try. There, of course, always going out into nature is always a choice. And here where we are at in the Pacific Northwest, there's ski to sea. There's like everything from anything you want to do in the mountains all the way to anything you might want to do in the water. So there is opportunity to be outdoors and do anything that you like to do, including just going and sitting outside.
That's one of those really cool things about living in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, we just have
we literally have every climate in the world right here in Washington,
when you go
including
to the rainforest.
That's funny. Rainforest, deserts, stuff. Yeah.
So I got a few tips on stress-free travel. Okay. So make your lists, and then maintain the list and check things off, because that's the only way you're going to remember the things.
And take a copy of your packing list with you so you know what you packed, especially if you have kids, so you know it made it back in the suitcase.
Oh, I thought that was a great idea with kids, like listing off like exactly what was in there. So when they go to put it away, you know, get all their stuff back, they'd be like, oh, I totally forgot I had my smiley face towel with me and I didn't mean to leave it, you know. So it's really cool. And you can put those in plastic sheet cover right inside, and it doesn't really weigh anything. Nope. So, and then it stays good. Do your research, you know. Say you're going on a drive and say you're going to Anacortes, because we've got some cool stuff coming up in Anacortes, right? You know, we do cool stuff here too, but and you know that there's this ice cream place. So you could be like, I'm gonna Google like how to get to there, and kind of like research, okay, if I'm on my way home, I'm going to want to eat dinner, kind of research what is available, what are your options, and just so you know, like what the price range is, what are your food requirement needs.
You can plan your route.
Yeah.
You know, plan your days based on what that looks like.
Check the weather report.
Yes.
Because even like the difference between Arlington, Stanwood, and in Anacortes, like check the weather, like maybe I can't remember who is it. We have a friend that used to be like, where's the sun today, and that was her blog.
Yeah, chasing the sun.
Isn't that Angela Clune?
I think so.
I think it was Angela. And so like chasing the sun, that's a real thing, like here in Washington.
Oh, it's gray and gloomy and rainy here, let's go find where the sun is, you know, in the state or whatever.
When I lived in Marysville a lot, we would go to Anacortes because it was sunny up there, and it wasn't here. Wasn't there. Try a new route, you know, to help keep it stress-free. Trains, planes, automobiles, bicycle, scooter. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do now. They have bicycles you can rent in Arlington if you wanted to rent a bicycle for the day. It'd be kind of fun.
Arlington.
And do the Centennial Trail. I mean, there's all sorts of activities you can do. Cool. Double check if you need travel protection, because things happen, and don't forget to remain flexible. So I would like to share with you this flexibility, because I tried to travel, and we got to the airport. It was kind of a snowy day, so it was not this time of year, obviously. We got to the airport. We were there all day, and like 10 minutes before we were going to board, they canceled our airplane.
And you had already been there for hours.
Right. So be flexible, like things happen. I mean, the next time we traveled, we had people, you know, that were stranded because of somewhere else's things. Like these things happen, like you have to be flexible, so don't stress about it, you know. Like
I got stuck in Chicago overnight the day before my wedding.
Right, exactly. So things happen.
Don't fly through Chicago in the middle of winter. You know these kinds of things that will make your travel plans a little easier. If you're traveling in the middle of winter, maybe not going through the snowiest part of the country is a good call.
If you can avoid it, definitely.
Right.
Yeah. I have a feeling that you didn't have a choice.
I don't think I had much of a choice.
That was a while back, but but having, you know, alternate, you know, it's okay to make an alternate plan, but if your mindset is flexible and it's more of the adventure of the situation, we never got to go to our destination that weekend. But we were just flexible and just relaxed, and we're like, okay, let's
just enjoy the journey.
Yeah. And now the next time I go to the airport, it's even easier, right? Because I've done it before, you know. And so you're still learning things and learning and growing and having new experiences, even if it doesn't go the way you planned it.
Yeah. And find fun things to do along the way. So when I am on a road trip, just me and my kids, we will listen to Disney music because the kids and I will do car karaoke to Disney music really loud. Now, if Dad's with us, he doesn't necessarily
enjoy the car
that,
karaoke,
but we'll have some music on in the background, and riding with him is more conversational, right? We have lots of conversations.
We like to play the ABC license plate game.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to like, we came up with a whole bunch of different variants for it when we would have to take long drives every couple of weeks.
Oh. Like back in the day, it used to be 3 letters and 3 numbers.
Right.
Right. So you take the 3 letters and you make a sentence.
Yes.
If it was ABC, it was like Amy brought a cat.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. And it would be fun. And then, you know, also, you know, singing other songs, like, this is probably a terrible example for children, but 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
No, but like making up, like singing camp songs.
Yeah, that kind of thing could be really fun for the
singing
kids.
those kid songs, or
it feels very National Lampoons, but I promise the kids will love it.
I love now that we can pull up YouTube. So if you know there's a song your kids are like trying to get into, I remember like this duck song. So if I was having a hard time with the kids, I'd just YouTube, have the duck song ready, and I'd hit play when they get in the car. Like, they're gonna calm down now. We can listen to the duck song.
And I also find that car rides is a great place to have some of those deep conversations and stuff, because you're stuck in the car.
Well, I also too want to make sure that we talk, when you bring that up, that we keep it safe.
Yes, it has to be safe. Otherwise, car rides and things like that,
travel
becomes miserable.
It's not meant to make anyone feel trapped with you, and to be careful and aware of that, because it is so easy. You are in the confined spot to have those deep conversations, but being aware of everyone's feelings and how you're going about that. Like, are we yelling? What are our voices at? Like, and are we being kind with our words in that kind of a situation?
Right. And maybe if you have a long journey, you have time blocks of things, like, you know, we'll listen to music and sing karaoke for half an hour, and then we'll watch a movie or something quietly for the length of the movie, and then get out, stop, stretch our legs, whatever, and then get back in and keep going.
Oh, and then especially kids, like our kids, like knowing what that structure will be. Like, okay, we're gonna stop at this exit and this exit and this exit for potty breaks, and you know.
One of the things that I learned with my kids that helped a lot to keep them from asking, "Are we there yet?" is, you know, we have this thing called GPS, and it says how long and what time you're supposed to be there. So I would conveniently put it right in the middle above the radio, right? And so that they could see it from the back seat.
Nice.
And when they would ask, "Where are we? Are we there yet? How much longer?" I would be like, "Look at the GPS. It will tell you all those things." And they're teenagers now, and they have figured out that that's where they look, and then they stop asking.
All right. I taught my kids like, okay, we're going to exit 199. And then they would look at the exit
or up.
Yeah, they would learn, okay, we're going to exit 99. Okay, we're, that's a long ways away from here. Like they did really good. As soon as they learned to count, they were able to do that. It was really cool.
So having those little tricks
and teaching them not to talk to us like that. Are we there yet? Like, really? No, that's not how our mindset is.
Right.
So and you can have that conversation too. Like, we're not going to be like this. And if you find yourself, what is your plan around mindset? Having a plan. That that's one of my favorite tools, having a plan.
I also, make sure I'm paying attention to road signs and stuff, whether I'm driving or I'm the passenger, because if I see that there's a rest area coming up in 3 miles, I'll be like, does anybody feel like they might need to use the restroom in the next hour and a half?
I might be like, everyone's getting out and going for a walk.
And giving them a little heads up so they can think about it, because 3 miles is, like 5 minutes on the freeway, right?
Yeah.
So it gives them time to react instead of, oh, there's the rest area, I guess we're stopping now.
Or I need to go potty right after you pass it, right?
Yeah,
I always like to do activities with the kids too at rest areas, because you've been in the car for so long. So we would do like, okay, everybody goes potty, and then we would be like, okay, everyone's gonna pick up 5 pieces of trash, ready, set, go. And then we would like, everyone's gonna race back and forth to the sign, just like activity, like just to keep blood moving, blood flow, because again, you're in the car, stagnant. We got to have energy movement to get that energy out, especially the little guys,
things like that. Yeah,
I don't know, my little guys, it was really hard for them to sit still in the car. So we would definitely, and often we would picnic at rest areas on the long drives.
Picnics at rest areas are great because it does give you the opportunity to get out and stretch your legs, and things like that. And another thing to remember is, if you are on a long flight, to get up and walk the aisle a couple of times at least every 2 hours. It'll help keep the swelling down in your legs, and it'll keep the blood circulating, because that the atmosphere is really hard on our blood circulatory system at prolonged altitude,
and you're changing pressure, and you're doing up and down pressure. I know I really worried about it with when I had in the past had abdominal hernia, like how was my body going to handle the pressure changes and how it was going to feel. So just being aware of what your needs are and planning for that.
If your ears have trouble with dealing with the pressure, I found at the airport this one time, because I get really bad pressure pain, to the point where I'm like in tears. I found these little earplugs at the airport. They're called earplanes, and they come in a little plastic case and a lanyard, so they,
you can keep them.
You can keep them. And I've used them several times, and so has B. B gets the same thing I do with that really hard.
My grandma always said chew gum, so we always chew gum. But
to an extent, but so we get this really bad airplane pressure when we fly, and those earplugs worked really well, because you could still hear things.
That's cool.
But it like opened up the ear canal
so
a little bit,
that the pressure
would stay equal.
Oh, that's
in
nice.
Your ears. So
that's cool.
There's that.
I recommend C-bands too if you have anti-nausea stuff and you're on a plane, or not a plane, a boat. Planes, trains, automobile. Okay. So if you're on a boat, you can get them a lot of times in the pharmacy area, and they're bracelets, and they have these little balls on them, and they're pressure points, and then there's like a little diagram to tell you like how, like where on your hand, how far down from your wrist should you put it, so that the pressure point for nausea while you're on something, on a boat, or if you're pregnant, it actually helps when you're pregnant. Except for I couldn't sleep with them on when I was pregnant, because then I had these horrible nightmares about like having holes in my arms because hormones when you're pregnant. But
the brain does funny things when you're pregnant.
Yeah, but they work really well, anti-nausea, and it's not chemicals or anything, it's using acupressure.
Right. So Oh, wow. Well, we weren't planning on giving you guys all these really cool travel tips, but there you go.
Those are our travel tips today.
But make sure you guys are taking some time for yourself, even if it's just a day. Go for a drive. Do something that feels like a mini vacation to you,
that disrupts your normal routine, so that you can take a break from the normal grind of life, so that you can rest and recuperate.
Absolutely. And be grateful for it that
And
day.
and you're gonna, and then when you are like when you get back and you start your life and you're having that moment where you're like, I'm so glad I feel better. Thank yourself for your vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I just got goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Thank yourselves for that time.
Thank you for this time off.
Because when you're showing gratitude to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it feels so good.
So good.
So good to give those things to yourself and to show up and witness yourself, because you're valid and you're already enough.
Absolutely.
So be sure you are checking out the Boogie Bin links. Maybe while you're out and about on a summer afternoon, you go and drop off some stuff at the Boogie Bins. Check their website for all their locations. Take in gently used or new pet supplies or donations to help pet rescue.
Absolutely. And we love them so much. Oh my gosh. We have a lot of really exciting things coming up. Make sure you guys tune in, download the podcast.
Check out that website, www.womeninleadership.bsmb.com. We have all of our blogs up with every episode. We have a community calendar. You can check out our sponsors there. All of the things are right there at your fingertips.
Absolutely.
24 hours a day.
7 days a week.
Boom, boom, boom. All right.
And if you want to check out the readings, I read this book every week on our YouTube channel. So go check it out and you can hear the whole chapter. And we love and appreciate every single one of you guys. We love you. Namaste.
Namaste. Mwah.